You've done it all. You read the books, you bought the swaddles, the sound machine, and the blackout curtains. You whisper, "Good night, I love you," with the gentle focus of a bomb disposal expert. And yet, here you are at 1 a.m., 2:30 a.m., and again at 4 a.m., with a wide-awake 1-year-old who's convinced that nighttime is just a darker version of playtime. Listen, you're not doing anything wrong. In fact, you're probably doing everything you've been told is right. But here's the maddening, exhausting truth. At 12 months, your child is at a crossroads of developmental milestones, changing nutritional needs, and huge neurological leaps. While infants are transitioning to more consolidated sleep, 20 to 30% still experience significant night wakings. These disturbances are often classified as behavioral insomnia of childhood, and if left untreated, they can lead to long-term issues with emotion regulation and cognitive development. The constant night wakings aren't a sign of failure. They're a signal that you need a new playbook. So, if you are bone tired and feel like you're one sleepless night away from losing your mind, stay with me. We're not just going to talk about letting them cry it out. We're going deeper. We're going to break down 7 science-backed steps that cover everything from their brain to their belly, giving you a clear plan to finally help your 1-year-old sleep through the night. This isn't magic. It's a roadmap to ending the frustrating cycle of night wakings for good. Step 1. The circadian anchor, bedtime routines. Let's start with the foundation, but with a total shift in perspective. You've heard "have a bedtime routine" 1,000 times. But we need to stop thinking of it as just a sweet, cuddly wind-down and start seeing it for what it truly is, a powerful neurological signal. It's not just about calming your child. It's about anchoring their internal body clock, or circadian rhythm. In fact, new research shows that consistency in bedtime routines can be more influential for a child's ability to regulate emotions and behavior under stress than the actual total duration of sleep. This routine is a conversation you're having with your child's brain, telling it that sleep is coming. For a 12-month-old, a bedtime between 7 and 8 p.m. is usually the sweet spot, aligning with their natural drop in cortisol and rise in melatonin. This isn't about being a drill sergeant. It's about working with their biology. Your routine needs a clear sequence of 3 to 4 calming activities, done in the exact same order every single night. For example, a warm bath, putting on pajamas and a sleep sack, reading one specific book, and then a final cuddle with a song before being placed in the crib. The sequence is the signal: bath, book, song. Bath, book, song. This predictability creates a powerful neural pathway that basically screams, "Sleep is next." If the routine is chaotic, sometimes a bath, sometimes not, sometimes 3 books, sometimes 1, the signal gets lost. The brain doesn't get the memo, and instead of winding down, it stays on high alert. The goal is to make the transition to sleep so predictable that it becomes automatic. This is the first and most crucial step. Step 2. Dismantling sleep-onset associations. This right here is the absolute core of the issue for most families. If your 1-year-old still needs you to rock, feed, bounce, or hold them until they are completely asleep, they have what's called a negative sleep-onset association. Think of it like this. Whatever they need to fall asleep at the start of the night is what they will need to return to sleep every time they naturally surface from a sleep cycle. And all humans, babies included, surface from sleep cycles multiple times a night. An adult might just roll over. But a baby who is rocked to sleep thinks, "Hey, where's the rocking? The conditions have changed. I need backup." Then they cry out, and you, being a loving parent, come in and provide that rocking again, locking in the very cycle you want to break. The solution is the single most important skill you can teach your child: falling asleep independently. This is achieved by putting them in their crib, drowsy but awake. This phrase is famous for a reason. It's deceptively hard, but absolutely necessary. It allows your child to do the last little bit of drifting off on their own, so when they wake up later, their environment is exactly the same, and they have the self-soothing mechanisms to navigate sleep cycles autonomously. Getting there doesn't have to mean just leaving them to cry. There are several gentle, evidence-based methods. First, the fading method. This is a gradual retreat. If you're used to feeding your baby to sleep, you first replace that with rocking. After a few nights, you reduce the rocking from vigorous to gentle until you're just holding them still. Then, you progress to putting them in the crib while they are still awake, but you keep a hand on their back. Eventually, you remove your hand, then sit by the crib without touching, and so on. It's a slow, step-by-step removal of your support. Second is the chair method. This is perfect if your child just needs to know you're there. After the routine, you put your baby in the crib awake and sit in a chair right next to them. You can offer verbal reassurance, but avoid picking them up. Every few nights, you move the chair further away, first to the middle of the room, then to the doorway, and finally, you're gone. It systematically teaches them they are safe and can fall asleep without you right there. Third, for some families, is the pick-up, put-down method. You put your baby down awake, and if they cry, you pick them up and comfort them until they're calm, but not asleep. Then you put them back down. You repeat this as many times as it takes. Be warned, for a determined 1-year-old, this can turn into an inadvertent all-night baby lifting workout, and it can be overstimulating for some babies. For others, it provides just the reassurance they need. The key with any of these methods is unwavering consistency. It takes time to build a new skill, but breaking these deep-seated associations is the only way to stop those 2 a.m. wake-up calls for good. Step 3. The nutritional linchpin you're probably missing. If your routine is solid and your baby is learning to fall asleep on their own, but they're still waking up, thrashing, and seem incredibly restless at night, it's time to look at their diet. Specifically, we need to talk about iron. Iron deficiency is the most common single nutrient deficiency in the world, and it's surprisingly common in infants, affecting up to 18% of babies between 6 and 12 months. The connection to sleep is profound and often completely overlooked. Iron is essential for producing key neurotransmitters like dopamine, which helps regulate movement. When iron levels are low, it can lead to something similar to restless leg syndrome in adults. Your baby may experience an uncomfortable, creepy, crawly sensation in their legs that makes it impossible to settle. Research shows that infants with iron deficiency can have more restless sleep, more body movements, and a reduction in deep sleep, leading to more frequent night wakings. So, what can you do? At 12 months, your baby's iron stores from birth have been depleted, and milk, both breast milk and cow's milk, is a poor source of iron. You need to be intentional. Aim to provide at least 2 servings of iron-rich foods every single day. Great sources include red meat, like beef and lamb, poultry, especially dark meat, lentils and beans, iron-fortified cereals and breads, spinach and other dark leafy greens, though plant-based iron is less easily absorbed. To boost absorption, always pair these foods with a source of vitamin C. For example, serve lentils with some diced tomatoes, or have a few orange slices after a chicken dinner. If you suspect a deficiency, especially if your child was premature, had a low birth weight, or is a picky eater, talk to your pediatrician. They can check iron levels and may recommend a supplement. Don't underestimate this. For some babies, optimizing iron is the one change that transforms them from a restless waker into a sound sleeper. Step 4. The melatonin sabotage in your living room. You've meticulously crafted a dark cave for your child's bedroom. But what about the 2 hours before they even get there? In our modern world, we are surrounded by a stealthy sleep saboteur: blue light. The light from screens like TVs, tablets, and phones is especially good at suppressing the release of melatonin, the hormone that tells our bodies it's time to sleep. For a 1-year-old, this effect is even stronger. Their eyes have larger pupils and clearer lenses than ours, allowing more blue light to disrupt their internal clock. Following expert recommendations, there should be 0 screen time for children under 2, with the only exception being video chatting with family. Beyond that, it's absolutely critical to have a screen-free buffer of at least 1 hour before bedtime. Think about a typical evening. Many families wind down by watching a show together after dinner. While it feels relaxing, the blue light from that TV is sending a powerful daytime signal to your baby's brain. It's telling their pineal gland, "Hold off on that melatonin. It's not nighttime yet." So when you start your bedtime routine, you're fighting an uphill battle. Your baby's body hasn't gotten the hormonal cue to sleep, leading to bedtime battles and a more fragmented night. The solution is simple, but it requires discipline. An hour or 2 before the bedtime routine begins, all screens go off. Dim the lights in the house. This allows melatonin to rise naturally, creating a wave of drowsiness that will help your child fall asleep and stay asleep. Instead of screens, choose calm, connecting activities like quiet floor play, looking at paper books, or listening to soft music. By cutting out blue light before bed, you're removing a major roadblock and letting your child's natural biology do its job. If these hidden factors behind night wakings are starting to click for you, please take a moment to subscribe. We dive into the science of child development every week to give you practical, evidence-based strategies. And let me know in the comments, which of these first 4 steps is your biggest aha moment? I'd love to hear what you're planning to try first. Step 5. Navigating the 12-month sleep regression. Just when you think you're making progress, a new chaos agent enters the chat, the 12-month sleep regression. Suddenly, your baby who was settling well is now hosting a party for one in their crib, practicing standing, babbling loudly, and refusing to lie down. It's maddening, but it's essential to reframe this. This is not a regression in their sleep skills, it's a progression in their development. At around 1 year, your baby's brain is exploding with new abilities. They're learning to walk, talk, and understand the world, which creates what neurologists call neurological excitement. Their brain is so fired up that it can't easily switch off. They want to practice their new skills at 2 a.m. because it's the most thrilling thing in the world right now. This phase is temporary, but how you handle it determines whether it resolves in 2 to 6 weeks or starts new, unsustainable sleep habits. Here's your game plan. First, double down on daytime activity. Your baby has a new engine. Give them a track to run on. Offer tons of opportunities to practice their new skills during wake windows. Let them cruise along furniture, practice walking, and babble back and forth with you. The more they get this out during the day, the less they'll feel the need to do it at night. Second, hold your boundaries. The biggest mistake during a regression is reverting to old sleep props. When your baby is standing and crying, it's so tempting to go in and rock them to sleep just to make it stop. But that sends the message, protesting works. This can quickly undo all your hard work on independent sleep. Instead, offer calm, brief, and boring reassurance. You can go in, gently lay them back down, say, "It's sleepy time," and leave. You might have to do this a few times, but the key is to be consistent and uninteresting. Third, don't rush to drop a nap. Many parents mistake the nap fighting as a sign their baby is ready for one nap. While that transition often happens between 12 and 18 months, doing it too early can lead to a chronically overtired baby, making night wakings even worse. Keep offering 2 naps as best you can. See this phase for what it is, a sign of incredible brain development. It will pass. Your job is to be the steady, consistent guide through the storm, without letting the boat get blown permanently off course. Step 6. The gut-brain axis and its surprising role in sleep. This next step is on the cutting edge of sleep science, but it's a piece of the puzzle that's becoming too big to ignore: the gut microbiome. Emerging research is revealing a powerful two-way street between the bacteria in your baby's gut and their sleep patterns, known as the gut-brain axis. Studies have shown that a more diverse and healthy gut microbial profile is positively correlated with sleep maturation and more consolidated sleep patterns. From as early as 3 months, there's a clear connection. One fascinating finding is that infants with higher amounts of beneficial bacteria, like certain strains of bifidobacterium, tend to have better regulated sleep-wake rhythms. A healthy gut also helps produce neurotransmitters like serotonin, a precursor to melatonin, which is essential for sleep cycles. On the flip side, an imbalanced gut can lead to physical discomfort from gas or bloating, which are obvious sleep disruptors. So, how do you support your 1-year-old's gut health for better sleep? This isn't about running out and buying a random probiotic. It's about cultivating a healthy gut environment through food. Focus on a diet rich in a variety of whole foods, especially those containing prebiotics, the food that good gut bacteria love to eat. Great sources of prebiotics include bananas, especially when slightly green, oats, onions and garlic in small cooked amounts, asparagus, apples. Also include fermented foods with live probiotic cultures. For a 1-year-old, the best options are plain, unsweetened yogurt or kefir. This is a long-term strategy, not an overnight fix. But by consistently feeding your child a diet that supports a healthy microbiome, you're contributing to better digestion, less discomfort, and the proper chemical signaling needed for mature sleep. Step 7. Choosing a clinical behavioral intervention. If you've addressed all the previous steps, solid routine, optimized nutrition, no blue light, managed the regression, and supported gut health, and your child is still struggling, it may be time for a more structured behavioral intervention. These methods are well-researched and have been shown to be safe and effective when implemented correctly. The most well-known method is graduated extinction, often called the Ferber method. This is not just cry it out. Instead, it's a method of timed checks that gives your child space to learn self-soothing while still being reassured of your presence. After your routine, you put your baby down awake and leave. If they cry, you wait a predetermined short interval, say 3 minutes. Then you go in, offer a brief, calm reassurance like, "I love you, it's sleepy time," and leave again without picking them up. You then extend the next interval to 5 minutes, then 10, and so on. This method can show significant improvement within about a week for many families because it provides a clear and consistent message. For parents uncomfortable with that level of crying, a gentler alternative is bedtime fading. This method works with your child's natural sleepiness. For a few nights, you carefully observe what time your child naturally falls asleep, even if it's super late. Then, you make that late time their new, temporary bedtime. They should fall asleep quickly with little fuss. Once they are doing that easily for a few nights, you begin to shift the entire routine earlier by 15-minute increments every few days. You move from 9:30 to 9:15, then 9, until you have faded their bedtime back to your desired time. This process is much more gradual, but it minimizes tears by ensuring your baby is biologically ready for sleep when you lay them down. A third approach is using social stories, which are picture books or narratives that can help explain bedtime expectations and reduce resistance. Choosing a method depends on your child's temperament and your family's comfort level. The most important factor for success with any approach is 100% consistency from everyone involved. Tackling night wakings at 1-year-old is about looking at your child's entire world. It requires an integrated plan, starting with a physiological and environmental audit in week 1, addressing diet, blue light, and routines. This is followed by breaking sleep associations and consistent behavioral reinforcement. It's understanding that their sleep is interconnected with their development, nutrition, environment, gut health, and the skills you empower them with. By systematically working through these steps, anchoring their body clock, breaking sleep associations, boosting iron, cutting blue light, navigating developmental leaps with firm boundaries, supporting their gut, and using a clear behavioral plan, you are not just sleep training. You are fostering a resilient, self-regulated nervous system that benefits the child's long-term health and growth. The outcome isn't just a full night's sleep for you, as glorious as that is. It's the foundation for better emotional regulation, cognitive development, and long-term health for your child. It's a challenging journey, but the peaceful nights that await are worth every ounce of the effort.